Okay, so this video is just me talking about how you should tell kids about LGBT plus things for multiple different reasons, actually, but I'm also going off of like my own experience of being a LGBT plus person and, you know, obviously I was LGBT plus as a kid and still as an adult too, because that can't really change. So, you know, obviously. But yeah, so I'm gonna first go with my whole thing of that, like, someone who is LGBT plus and they don't get taught LGBT plus things and then they end up growing up confused, alone, depressed, and it can even be worse than that to where they want to take their own life because they are all alone. No one's no one like them is around them, or as you know, they don't see anyone around them that's like them. They don't learn about it, so they think they're all by themselves and there's something like wrong with them or something. Because they're like, oh, I don't see anyone else feeling the same way I'm feeling, so I must be crazy, right? And that's kind of one of the things of why we need to teach younger people about these things because they end up feeling like they're alone and different and no one else is like them and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I felt when I was a kid, and I didn't have a word for it. I didn't know of other people who felt the same way I felt, so I thought I was all alone, and I thought people would think I'm crazy just because, I didn't know of anyone else that felt the same way, so I was like, something must be wrong with me, and in reality, there's nothing wrong with me. And if I knew of LGBT things before that, I would have known that I'm not wrong. I'm not bad. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not crazy. Because, like, there's other people who also feel this way. And, like, I was alone, I was confused, and I didn't know of other people feeling this way. So, if I learned about it before, I wouldn't have felt that way. I wouldn't have been, you know, it's just like I feel like a lot of people end up feeling like that way if they don't learn about other people also feeling the same way. So, yeah, like growing up being called she or her or girl or woman or whatever, and I was just like, I felt like being called all of these things was wrong. Like being called she or her, I was just like, why are you calling me this? It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like me. And then once I learned about trans and all these different genders, I was like, oh, there's people who don't feel like they're supposed to be what they were told they were supposed to be. And I kind of thought about, like, am I gender fluid? Am I non binary? Am I whatever? And I was kind of like, I don't really think I'm gender fluid because I don't connect with any female, girl, woman, she, her stuff. So I was like, I don't know about gender fluid because I'm like, I don't. I don't feel like anything, any connection towards any girl or she or her woman, anything like that. So I'm like, I don't know about gender fluid. Non binary kind of makes a little more sense, but at the same time, I don't really feel like that. And then I thought of trans man, and I was like, that makes a little more sense for me. And then I thought about, like, oh hey, seeing myself as a man and stuff, and I was like, that actually makes more sense for me. And so, I feel a bit more connected to a more male looking presenting thing, you know? I don't know exactly how to describe it, but you know, it's just like the masculine, the man energy. I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes more sense for me. And so I'm just like, I need to go on testosterone and, you know, have it so I can have a deeper voice. And then I won't, probably won't hate my voice so much if it's deeper. So there's that. And then just like seeing myself as a woman just is no, that there's nothing there that makes me want to be that. And then something about being a man makes more sense for me. So I'm like, you know, there's that. And so I finally understand myself more, and, you know, knowing that there's other people out there who feel like this too is so nice. And it's just like knowing that I'm not the only one that's like this, you know? It's fucking great. So you know, for the sake of LGBT people, like, it doesn't matter if they're trans or not, gay, lesbian, bi, gender fluid, non binary, like, you should teach them all the different things to try to make sure they understand it, and maybe they can understand themselves better if they are one of these things. And yeah, so that's one thing that is like why you should tell kids about LGBT things. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that if you teach kids that people like this exist, then it'll make them have more empathy for other people, and it'll make it so there's less bigotry, because a lot of people are hateful towards things that they don't understand, and people judge things that they don't understand. And so that's kind of where a lot of stuff comes from, is that they're just like, oh, I don't get it, you're just weird or whatever, and then they end up hating these people just because they're a little bit different. And if you teach people about different genders and different sexualities, and like, hey, these are people, these are real people that exist, and, you know, we already have a hard time as it is with so many other things, that it's like, you know, we don't need more hateful people in this world trying to tell us that we're bad or wrong. Because, like, we already have so many people telling us that we're bad or wrong. We don't need more idiots like that. So it'd be great if people tried to take that down when someone's younger, so they can learn more empathy and sympathy, and, you know, understand people more, because like understanding people more makes it so there's less hatefulness in the world. And, you know, we need more more kindness and less hatefulness. So you know, that's why teaching your kids about LGBT plus things is so important, so there's less confusion, less bigotry, less hatefulness, and more kindness and more empathy and more understanding. So I really hope more people can, like, you know, teach other people, but also teach themselves about these things. And then, you know, we can understand ourselves and other people more, and there won't be so much confusion. And yeah, so I hope more people can learn about this and care more about this. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for this video though, so bye.